Yo, what's poppin'? I don't know if y'all remember, but early in the year I had posted a snap talking about how this is the 322nd birthday of Skull and Bones, the secret society out of Yale. And I said that this year there would be a lot of deaths in the entertainment world. Well, there's been a lot of deaths in the entertainment world. And unfortunately, a lot of them have been black people because it was a lot of rappers, a lot of actors and actresses, singers, athletes. And it's unfortunate because they're all dying by a numerical code. And if you look into this numerical code, you'll see that none of these deaths are by chance. They're too they're synced up too perfectly for them to be by chance. And so watch out for the rest of the year because we're going to see some more deaths in the community, in the entertainment world. And the fucked up part is that nobody's holding these people accountable for what they're doing. There's been plenty of story and headlines about how these people have died by drug overdose, car accident, but the same people who are committing these crimes are the same ones breaking the story out to you. They're the same ones who are investigating the crime scene. It's a network of people. So it's like, how can we even trust that any of these deaths are real? How can we trust that these storylines are real, right? How do we know that these people are really dying by what they said they're being told to die by, right? So I'm so fed up with the world. I'm so fed up with people fantasizing about celebrities and entertainment and sports, and it's like, yo, it's all a trap to keep our minds in this state of slavery, you know. And I don't really like to get on here and talk about negativity. If you follow me on other social platforms, I'm mostly about positivity, mostly about telling people what the truth is, right? But it's something that has to be talked about because a lot of our favorite entertainers, they have a death date. And a lot of the people who we look up to, athletes included, they have death dates. Their names are encoded by numerology. See, numbers run the world. People don't realize that numbers run the world. If you understand numbers, you understand how this universe works because everything is coded. Your name is coded. It's a practice of turning letters and words into numbers, right? A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, up to 26, which is Z. So if you're able to, understand this numerical code, then every headline you see, everything you see on the TV, yeah, everything you see on the TV, even album covers and song titles, all of it is coded and it's done ritually. So when these people are taken out, when these entertainers, when these athletes die, they're dying by the work that they put out into the world, right? So we have to look at every death you see in the major headline as a ritual numerical death. Now, some of these people are dying, naturally, but 90% of them are dying prematurely, and most of them are dying from being murdered. Really, they're not dying from car accidents and overdoses. That's just a cover up, you know. And the people who investigate these things, they're paid off to go along with the script. See, everything's a script. All of it is a storyline. Your sports, it's all storylines and scripted. The NFL season, yeah, like football, basketball, baseball, all of it is rigged. It's all coded and it follows narratives and storylines. I'll tell you who my favorite to be in the NFL Super Bowl this year: the Baltimore Ravens, just because of how many people have died in connection to them, right? And don't be surprised if they make it there and the New Orleans Saints is their opponent. So don't ask me how I know these things. Just understand that if these things don't happen, then great. But if they do happen, then there's something more that we need to look into, and something's not right. Anyway, I just want people to start using their brains and start thinking. Don't be so consumed with the narratives and the storylines because they're pulling on your heart chakra, right? They're pulling on your emotions. So every time you see a death, sad news or something, it's just making you sad. Wildfires, war, And a lot of you know that I'm in the music world. I DJ, I produce, I make beats and all that shit, right? Um, I'm not trying to be an entertainer. I'm trying to be an inspirator, and there's a major difference in that. I'm not trying to entertain the world. So me, I personally, I would never go along with this agenda. I would never fit into the industry because I speak too much truth. You know, I'm gonna tell you right now who controls the industry, who controls basically the world. It's the Catholic Church, it's the fake Jews, and it's Freemasonry. These three organizations control the whole world, and they go by the Jesuit order. And basically, they came from Rome. They're basically the Roman Empire. That's the current Roman Empire. So the Romans that ruled back in the day, that had the world in tyranny, and they used the Colosseum to distract people. Yeah, they're still around today. They just look different. And it's sad because they've infiltrated into America, and they've turned this free state, this supposedly free state, right? This free state that was built by blacks and immigrants. They've turned this into slavery, and this whole world is now following their code and their order. And so there's no way out of this unless America wakes up. Unless the people in America wake up to what's going on, to the headlines and the fake news and all that stuff. Like, a lot of people think Donald Trump and Joe Biden are like enemies. They're best friends. Excuse me. They be on Epstein Island together, hanging out. Bro, they're best friends. There is no left and right. There is no red and blue. There is no Republican and Democrat. All those people are friends. So when the cameras go off, guess what? They all go buddy buddy into their mansion parties and do weird shit together. The worst part about it is they're destroying the kids. They're destroying the youth, because when you control the youth, you control the future. And there's a reason why in the political parties there's a bunch of old heads who are literally about to die in the next 5 to 10 years. They don't want young, fresh minds in there, because young people are not going to go along with the nonsense that's been happening in this country for years, right? There's no such thing of making it from the ground up and then making it all the way to the top. No, you have to be down with these people long before you even get to the president, long before you even get a seat in the House of Representatives. You have to be down. And it takes years to get to these high ranking levels of secret society. And this is what this shit is about. There is no democracy in America. It's a fake democracy. But the beauty is we can create a real democracy if we wake up and overthrow these demons. Basically, they're basically demons that sit and run the world. But anyway, I don't want to scare people, but this is the truth of what's happening in the world. And I have to get my voice out there, because if I don't, then I'm gonna feel this type of guilt that I didn't do what I could to wake people up. Because right now we're in a crucial time. The next pandemic is currently on its way, right? So whatever we saw in 2020, best believe round two is on its way. And more than likely something will happen by 2025. I hate to say it, but 2030 is their agenda. The Georgia Guidestone says 2030. They want to have the population down by under a million, which is crazy, considering that there's over 8 billion people on the earth. So under a million, that's pretty drastic. Hopefully, it never gets to that point, because people are gonna work together to overthrow this tyranny. But just be aware that this is the reality. Yeah, I got a lot more I want to say, but I'm gonna wrap it up right now, because if you made it this far, then I appreciate you. And a lot of people, they don't even want to they stopped at like the first two like clips that I posted, and they're like, yeah, I don't want no more. But I have a YouTube channel called Deep Sea Underground. You can find more of my information under Deep Sea Underground Shammy Deep. I'll be posting more podcasts about topics like this, reaction videos, whatever. But if you made it this far, thank you. You are a real truth seeker, and your brain is working properly, unlike the rest of the goyim that live on this earth, who just are pacified by the bullshit. So thank you. I appreciate everything you do. And yeah, be positive, be alert, and never settle for less than the truth.